Well, you've probably seen the news by now on X or somewhere on social media, but Christmas has apparently come early for NASA fans and space fans because Jared Isaacman is finally, and yes, for real this time, confirmed as the new head of NASA. So not only is he the youngest leader that the agency has ever had in its history at only 42 years old, but let's face it, it's been a rocky year. So I wanted to recap how the year has been and talk about what's ahead for Jared and the agency as a whole. So this might be his toughest mission yet. As I mentioned, it's been over a year of political turbulence, and we haven't had a NASA administrator since Trump took office back in January. Of course, we have had Sean Duffy, who kind of turned out to be a bad actor here and really got in the way of Jared becoming administrator. And so he was serving as acting or interim NASA administrator for the time being, but he's finally out. And as you can see, they took his photo down as soon as possible. I kind of laughed seeing this post. So on Wednesday, December 17th, the Senate approved Jared's nomination by a 67-30 vote, making Jared NASA's 15th administrator and, like I said, the youngest in the agency's history. But while all of this sounds really difficult, the most difficulty he's had has been in Washington this past year. So this time last year, last December, Jared got the nomination from President Trump and posted how thankful he was for it. And unfortunately, things didn't really go how we were expecting them to go. According to Eric Berger's reporting, Jared faced pressure from nearly every direction. In both of his Senate confirmation hearings, lawmakers raised questions about his ties to Elon Musk and SpaceX, since Jared actually purchased multiple Dragon flights from SpaceX. Others questioned whether he would prioritize Mars over the moon, potentially undermining NASA's Artemis program, aka the Gravy Train. So there were also resurfaced records of check fraud from Isaacman in his early 20s, intense scrutiny of his political donations, and questions about whether he supported the Trump administration's proposed cuts to NASA's science budget. And then back in May, we thought everything was good and that Jared would get that confirmation. But Eric fills us in on some more of that behind-the-scenes drama, so things didn't get any smoother after that. At that time, NASA's acting administrator, Sean Duffy, actively worked against Jared's renomination. So he wasn't just stepping in, he was trying to make sure that Jared didn't get the position. This allegedly included leaking Isaacman's internal NASA reform blueprint known as Project Athena, and encouraging traditional aerospace contractors to frame Isaacman as a SpaceX plant. Despite that, the key voices inside the White House ultimately pushed for Isaacman's return. He was renominated, forced to defend his 62-page Athena plan before Congress deeply invested in protecting NASA's existing structure, and even faced a last-minute attempt by Senate staffers to delay his confirmation into 2026. But now he's finally cleared the last hurdle. This one is 1, 2, 3. One thing that Eric also points out in his article is that Jared doesn't have much political experience, although now he has about a year of it under his belt. And so he is more politically seasoned than when all of this started, and that might actually help him out with his role. Of course, he's built relationships across the Senate, strengthened his ties with President Trump, and developed a deep bench of contacts inside the White House and in Congress. So this is a super exciting time for NASA, and if he does what he said he's looking to do in the Project Athena plan, I think the future for NASA with the culture changes has never looked brighter. And of course, I'll be covering all of the developments right here on Orbit Insights. Alright, share your thoughts down below, subscribe today, and if you want to learn more about the Artemis program and really why we're going back to the moon, you can check out my video on that right now.